Hello and welcome to the Hard to Handle Sports Podcast. This is episode number 30. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Ismael San Juan. On this episode, we welcome back my good friend Arturo back to the show. His second time on the show. He's a longtime Packers fan, so he's very hurt by these results that happened this last weekend. We touched on the Packers versus Buccaneers games, what he thought about the 4th and 8, the penalty that was called at the end. We touch on all those topics on this episode. We also talk about the Premier League, Lampard getting fired by Chelsea, Arsenal's position in the table, and we discuss Liverpool struggles and how they compare to the Invincibles, because he is a longtime Arsenal fan as well. So I hope you guys enjoy this show. I'm gonna cut to our conversation now. So what's up, Arturo? It's nice to have you on the show for the second time. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to join us. The Hard to Handle Sports Podcast, episode 31.
What's up, Ish? Thank you for having me, man. I mean, you already know I'm always down to talk sports.
Right.
Now.
So I know you had a rough weekend as being a Packers fan, but before we get to that, let's just take a moment to. It's been 1 year since Kobe died. Let's just pay our tributes to him, the man up above now. I know for me as a Laker fan and growing up in SoCal, I wasn't in LA, but he's still like a hero to me. He still meant a lot to me. I know you're from LA, so you're a Laker fan. So I know you grew up watching him. How does it feel now, 1 year without Kobe?
It feels surreal, bro. I'll be honest. It's like, I mean, for many of us, I mean, growing up here in LA, I mean, especially like Latino households.
Yeah.
With basketball is probably not our predominantly watched sport.
Yeah.
It's soccer, but I mean, Kobe was the reason why we even started watching basketball.
Exactly. Yep.
I mean, he made you fall in love with the game, fall in love with the hustle, and then growing up, his mentality, the Mamba mentality.
Yeah.
Just kind of, you see pretty much you see the way he grew, from being a young star to being like the leader and getting 5 rings and all that stuff.
Right.
Like I said, it just feels surreal, bro. I'll be honest. It's like celebrity deaths don't really, I don't want to say
affect you.
I don't like, they don't affect me because, a lot of my most celebrity deaths, because, it's celebrities. I'm not trying to be inhumane, but
Yeah.
We're such, like, there's so many people in the world, like, we don't have, like, a connection with them.
Yeah, exactly.
With Kobe, you felt a strong connection.
Exactly.
Not only to him, but then like it just felt like everyone, bro, like around the world, like you see all the tributes around the world, in Japan, in China, in Europe, in Italy where he grew up.
Yeah.
You see how many people he affected, and it's still like a year later, it still feels like.
Yep. Like what happened? Yeah, I know. It makes you think about like the great moments he had and the people that you were with when you were watching those great moments, like those 60-point games.
Dude, I left class early that day, bro.
You have the intramural shirt on. I was playing intramural game, and then we all huddled up in a little computer to watch the last 5 minutes. That was cool. But yeah, man, just
to watch it.
R.I.P. Kobe. He changed a lot of lives. I know he impacted mine. I'm pretty sure he impacted yours. He impacted a lot of people's. So I just want to, hopefully for the Bryant family, for Vanessa, for the rest of his daughters, hopefully, I know they're mourning this day, but hopefully it starts getting a little better as we start going further away from his death. But tragic as it is, hopefully, they're doing better now. I know a lot of people keep bringing it up. I don't know if it helps like move on or if it's kind of stopping them from moving on, but I hope they're doing better. And I know you hope they're doing better too.
Exactly. Everyone mourns in their own way. So.
Yeah, exactly. But let's talk about these games this weekend. As a Packers fan, did you think this was the year, and why did they lose that game? Tell me, in your perspective, the 4th and 8. There's a lot of things that could have cost the game, but not one play loses it. In your opinion, what lost the games for the Packers?
Of course, dude, I thought it was their year. Like, if it had been any of the past few seasons, this year was our year.
Right.
No Niners.
No Niners.
First, the NFC goes through Lambeau. What else did you want? Home field, frozen tundra. the best case scenario, we got divisional round, the West Coast team coming.
Yup.
Even though it wasn't that cold, I mean, I feel like
Yeah.
it affected it a lot.
Messed up finger for Goff.
Goff, Cup was out. I mean, yes, we got some breaks off that, but I mean, you still got to play the games. You know, we lost our starting all-pro tackle and Bakhtiari.
Oh.
Even going into January, it's still a really healthy team.
Right.
No excuses. The only thing was always special teams was shaky, as always, and the defense, our defensive coordinator. Even during the season, I didn't trust him. The past 7 games was like the quarterbacks we played was Goff with one thumb, Stafford who cracked his ribs.
Yeah.
Wentz. Trubisky.
Yeah. No real test.
Tannehill in the snow.
Yeah.
Like, there was no we didn't play like a, I guess, top 10 talent QB, you know?
Yeah.
And then, I mean, like you said, not one play defines the game. Everything that we weren't doing that we were getting right during the season and in the previous games, everything that we were doing, all the small things,
right?
We didn't do any of that. Nothing.
Right. So let's talk about that 4th and 8 play at the end of the game. 3rd and 8. I think Rodgers stepped up in the pocket and it looked like he was gonna run, but he decided to throw to Davante Adams, I believe.
Yeah.
Last second, gets batted down, goes to 4th and 8. Did you think he was able to get to the goal line, or do you think he should have tucked it in? And then what would you have done on 4th?
I felt that he could have. When you see the angle from behind,
right?
I felt like he had a lot of green in front of him. Although Ndamukong Suh was right behind, and you see the linebacker kind of turn around.
Right.
So regardless, 4 or 5 yards would have been better than
yeah. Then you really get to pressure your coach to go for it on 4th down.
If he runs it, I'm assuming he runs towards out of bounds. Rather than sliding inbounds. I mean, regardless if you have the 2-minute warning and all 3 timeouts, I feel like he's still gonna try to run a play before the 2 minutes.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's a lot of what ifs.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, the decision after to kick the field goal, regardless, if you're thinking, the mentality is you're still gonna have to stop them regardless.
Yeah.
If you go for it, you score the touchdown, you still gotta go for 2, and you gotta
stop them. And they have what, like 3? They had 2 timeouts to themselves.
2 timeouts, and you had your 3 timeouts.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it would have been the tie game, right? And then the
at best, yeah. At best is
the 2-point conversion.
Right.
You see, you go back to all these plays, the 2-point conversion that was dropped.
Right.
Before that, a red zone drive where it was 3 different times.
To Davante Adams dropped it.
Play, they run it in their sleep, bro. That play drops it. That play is like 999 out of 1,000.
They even said it in the commentary. 99 out of 100 times they catch it.
99.9% of the time, it's a catch.
I feel like he made it a little bit harder than it had to be.
Yeah.
The throw. He shook him like easily off the line.
He had the distance.
He could have had him high, and he like played him very low.
A little low and away.
Yeah, he had to like really adjust it, but I think he got both hands on it. So either way,
it's Devontae, you know.
Yeah.
Like our best receiver
in the league, in my opinion.
The play later, a batted down pass, and then the play after, he forced it in the back of the end zone when Lazard was.
Lazard was. He didn't have a man 10 yards away close to him.
Lazard was open.
Yeah.
It was an easy one. He's a huge target. I mean, and that goes into the mentality of like forcing it to Adams. A lot of the games, especially last year when Adams was out with like a turf toe.
Yeah, they were on fire.
The offense was on fire. He came back and they started struggling because he tried to force it to Adams. I mean, it makes sense, but I mean,
yeah. The thing is, I get how he forces to Adams, but there was a play where he drew the defense off sides and they had a free play. I don't know who he threw it to, but it wasn't Davante Adams. And then they showed the angle, and Davante Adams was wide open. Like,
yeah, Davante he shook him. Yeah.
You should have looked for Adams on that free play. But I mean, those are all the little plays that they're gonna look this week, and they're gonna just think like, man, we left a lot on the field.
To start the game, they went like 4 for 4 from 3rd down, scored a touchdown on 3rd down.
Yeah.
Our number 2 cornerback mistimes his jump. On Evans.
Oh yeah.
Times it, he swats it, right? Whatever. Right. What else? There was a lot of holds that were in calls.
Yeah.
A lot of illegal contacts.
Yeah, we'll get to that at the end. At the end, we'll touch on that.
What else?
The missed tackles on Fournette.
Missed tackles.
Yeah.
On Ronald Jones when he did a spin move and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But before that, 1-on-1 against the high safety can't just bat it down.
The dropped interception before the touchdown to Scotty Miller. That one was I don't know, how did he not catch it? I was like, it looked like he lost it in the light or something, but like he like short stroked his arms, like he didn't like fully extend for it, and he still got like both fingertips on it. Like, what are you doing, man?
The fumble to start the second half.
Oh, hey, okay, that's another question at the end.
What else?
The 2-point conversion, like you said.
2-point conversion. Forcing it to
the 2-3 and outs after the 2 interceptions. That was
they didn't even run a
not one play.
After seeing AJ Dillon, bro, carry a man on his back for 7 yards after he met him at the line of scrimmage, bro.
Right.
He carried the ball to like at least 7 yards with the man like, literally on top of him.
Mm-hmm. It's wild. All right, so what?
Got injured, like might as well bring another back in on top of Jamal Williams, but.
Yeah. So one of the questions I have for you, do you think Aaron Jones is going to be back next year?
I'd like him back. I mean, you swear. You broke like a lot of Packer records, a lot of single season Packer records.
Yeah.
Back. He's extremely talented.
He's still young.
He can catch. Dude, he runs so hard for his size. Like, he's like a Kamara-esque, Like, not that build, not that much muscle, but he runs.
He runs tough.
He runs like he's 250 pounds, bro. Like he runs.
So you don't think like these 2 fumbles will cost him like no?
I don't think, maybe a little bit like less money, but I don't think it should affect us offering him a contract.
But there's people that say Jamal Williams Williams and AJ Dillon that they're good enough to take the load. You don't have to bet.
I'd rather let Jamal walk. Unless Jones's agent is asking for like ridiculous money, because I mean, obviously, I know it's not really a running back league. You can't.
Yeah.
That much time into it. Look at McCaffrey. They gave him all that money. He
barely played, and his replacement. I don't want to disrespect McCaffrey, but he did pretty good. He put up numbers. Yeah, he did, and he's like what? No one really knows. What was his name? Davis.
Yeah.
Mike Davis. Yeah. So you could get some value. I'm pretty sure if you give AJ Dillon some carries, he'll be able to do the work. But like I said, I like Jones. I had him in fantasy, so I kept up with him the whole year. I like Jones, but there were people that were like, this is the last we're seeing of Jones. Like, damn, this is how we're gonna remember him. 2 fumbles in the NFC Championship game. But like, you really think he's coming back from where you're?
I mean, I don't see why not. I don't see why. There's some key players you want to keep. And to me, it's Jones. And our center, maybe Corey Linsley. You want to resign? You re-sign Bakhtiari? Why not reinforce the line? And that's another thing I want to talk about, like sacks, bro. Like he was sacked 20 times during the season, and he got sacked 5 times yesterday. Their front 7 was just throwing.
JPP had like 2.5 sacks, I think, and then the other pass rusher had like another 2.5. Barrett. Yeah.
Dominican Sue. Like,
so they really missed Bakhtiari. Was that it? I mean, they were kind of exposing that side, but the rest of the line wasn't protecting particularly well.
I feel like Wagner got cooked. Was getting just cooked, man. There were some plays where like wide receivers haven't even finished their routes, and Shaq Barrett was already like 3 feet away from Rodgers.
I think the game also got away from the Packers, so they kind of abandoned the run.
Mm-hmm.
So they knew it was a passing down like almost every single play after a while. That kind of didn't, and that went against the Packers. That's what kind of surprised me. Once they made it a close game again, they never found their identity again. They were always playing like they were down 28-10 or whatever they were down. They were down 28-10, I believe, yeah. And once they made that comeback, once they scored 1 or 2 touchdowns, they never flipped it to like a regular game where they're running their regular offense. It always looked like they were still on that panic mode, like, oh my God, we got to go score again. So I don't know. What do you think about that? Do you think they should have?
No, I agree. They steered away from what was working.
Yeah.
The only reason our offense worked and looked so beautifully during the season is because we established the run.
Right.
Establishing the run obviously opens up the playbook. for play actions, jet sweeps, motions,
Exactly.
screens, anything. Obviously, you got to establish the run to establish the play action. They steered away from that, and obviously it showed. I feel like it was. I saw a tweet when a Packers analyst. He said that like LaFleur and Rodgers like hero syndrome. Like they're looking for that fucking big play. Like
Right.
you already got 3 interceptions off this man. This man had like he was like 50% in the second half.
Right.
Maybe less than 100 yards. They only got 10 points. The touchdown came because they got a turnover in like inside our 30.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
which is another reason why I can see why they decided to kick the field goal late
They
in
were
the game.
doing bad. Yeah.
Because I mean, Brady wasn't doing shit, bro.
Yeah.
To be honest, he got outplayed.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, if Jason's listening to this, dude, Rodgers is better than Brady. And I know we never called the game. I didn't say. I mean, I was rooting for the Packers, and I did call the Packers, but that's not the argument. He was saying Brady is better than Rodgers, and that game did not prove that by any means.
Quarterback wins don't define your greatness. I mean, one player out of 53. I mean, it's football. Like we said earlier, and the last time you had me, football is one of the hardest sports to define, like the greatest.
Right. And if Rodgers throws 3 picks like Brady did, the Packers are getting freaking blown out by 40, 50 points.
Exactly. Thank you. Yeah. Rodgers has to be damn near perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, and basically.
And he was. I mean, if you honestly that pick.
Yeah. Oh, so let me get to this question. So I know the referees let them play the whole game. We saw it on the interception. There was a couple PIs that could have been called against the Packers too, against Evans and Godwin, like going down the field. There's like even the commentators were like, "Oh my god!" Like, all right, well, it's consistent with the game. But then on 3rd and 8, I believe, on the last drive, Brady throws that pass, and it looks like the Packers cornerback pulls on his jersey. I think that's one of the first PIs they call the whole game. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, it's BS, and a lot of people saw it. If you're letting them play, then I mean, let them play the whole game.
Right.
If you're gonna start calling stuff, you should have called it the first time. You know.
Yeah. All right. So here's like the most common counter argument I've heard. Basically, they're saying all the other pass interferences, holding and stuff, even the one like in the interception for Rodgers, they're saying that's like getting caught doing 70 on a 65. Like you're breaking the rule, but it's 70 on a 65. And they're saying that the one at the end of the game, that is like if you're getting caught doing 90 on a 65. Like they're both like you're both breaking the law or whatever, but one of them is like barely, and then the other one is like blatant. That's what I've been hearing. I'm just trying to get your thoughts on what do you think about those people that are saying, all right, well, this one was way more blatant, like the jersey, you could tell the jersey pull like from a mile away. You got to call that. Like, what do you got to say about that? Just
at the end of the day, they still committed the foul. Like it doesn't really matter the extent of the penalty, right?
Right. Yeah.
Right. It's like saying like, oh, you can use that same argument like, oh, you killed someone or you got manslaughter. Like you still killed someone.
Yeah.
Right. Like the crime was still committed. The penalty was still committed. It doesn't matter the extent.
Right.
Right. So I mean that's not really a good argument. I can see why they say it. However, I mean you can see the jersey tug, but I mean if they haven't called anything, Lazard jersey, he pulled the jersey off his shoulder pad.
Yeah.
I mean, you want more blatant, like I mean, also feel in that play they should have called timeout as soon as they converted that first down.
Yeah.
They just let a lot of time run out. That's another thing. They were letting a lot of time run out throughout plays. I feel like
before the half. Yeah, that was
even in the second half. They were letting a lot of time run out through play. They were using the entire play clock. I feel like if they went more hurry up offense, they would have caught. They would have it would have flowed better. Another thing, I mean, penalties, dude. There was only 2 penalties against the Bucs in 2 whole games against us.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, man. I don't want to blame the refs. I don't want to, because obviously we shot ourselves in the foot. Like,
Yeah, I saw some people that just kind of attribute it to Brady-led teams always get the calls. But I mean, I don't want to. It seems like you're just hating on Brady if you bring up stuff like that. But
yeah, I mean, yeah, to an extent, that play affected the game. But I mean, there was numerous times we could have taken the lead. We could have scored. We shot ourselves in the foot.
Yeah, there's no doubt, no doubt about it.
Since the beginning of the game.
Like it was a roller coaster of a game from the Packers. I know me and you both thought the game was over once Jones fumbled that catch on your guys' side of the field to start the second half, and then they scored. But then they got going, and then they made you believe a little bit, and then they crushed you at the end. Just super upsetting. Being a Charger fan, I kind of know how that feels, but or ex-Charger fan. Let me correct myself. What do you have?
Honestly, I would hop on back with the Chargers, bro.
Yeah,
Herbert's looking like the truth, man.
Yeah. No, I've heard that a lot. People have been trying to get me back in there. But what do you think about the Packers going forward? The press conference with Rodgers at the end, it kind of left it a little murky, kind of insinuating that he might be down to leave or he might be on his way out. Does that bother you, or what do you think about Rodgers kind of insinuating that this might be it? He might be moving on.
I mean, I follow him. Obviously, I follow him a lot. A buddy of mine, I'm in this group chat on Twitter. Just
right.
Three total. Two of my buddies, Julian and Joel.
Right.
Packer fans, and that's where we just talk our smack and just vent our thoughts and stuff.
Right.
But lately, Julian has been watching the Pat McAfee show, and Rodgers features every week.
Yeah.
When he was on, I watched when he came on, and he was like, bro, he's coming back. He's coming back next year. He said it. And then even the GM, Murphy, he was like, we're not idiots. He's our leader. Of course, next year. There was talks, however, that he was looking to get more money.
Right.
Restructure his contract in order to get more money. So, I mean, that may have, depending on how much is asked, that may affect.
Right. But I mean, before moves are made, what precedes moves is always the same. Like, you always hear the same things, like, oh, we're not looking to trade him. He's going to be here. The player himself usually always says, I'm going to be here next year. Then no one really comes out and says, you know what, this is my last season. Like, if someone asks you and you think you're leaving, no one really says, you know what, yeah, this is it. They're not really open about it till it's like certain, or even then they just kind of like, oh, a move happened. But do you think there's any chance? Like, I know he said he's not. I know the GM said he's not, but we've heard GM say that before. We've heard players say that before. It kind of seems like this might be one of the years that he could potentially leave. Do you think there's any chance, or?
It would depend. It would depend on the package, I guess you can say.
Right.
I can see him going to a team with a solid defense that just needs a quarterback, like the Niners. The Colts. Where else? Even the Pats. I mean, I would hate that. I would hate it.
And what do you think he'll get back at this stage in his career?
I mean, he's going to be 38. I mean, he just turned 37. He's going to be 38 end of the year. I would hope second.
Okay, that's what I was kind of, no disrespect to Roger, but the age.
No, of course not. I mean, he's 38.
Yeah.
Some third day picks maybe.
Yeah.
Anything. I mean, and you gotta get rid of his contract, so you open space to sign to build a team around, I guess, Love
and the running game,
and some more talent, especially on defense. Sign free agents, stop drafting.
Right. And one last question: what do you think about the Packers having Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers back to back for 29 years and only 2 Super Bowls, and I believe 3 or 4 Super Bowl appearances in 29 years with those 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks? How does that feel? Or what do you think about that?
I guess we never really, I mean, in all of Rodgers' playoff losses, the defense allowed like 37 points.
Yeah.
Average. I mean, it goes to show that, I mean, the organization never really attended that side of the ball, regardless of how many draft picks were spent on it.
Right.
They kind of just like, Rodgers was good enough to get us through. But when the time really mattered, I mean, the defense never showed up.
I feel like the
It's
Packers.
very frustrating. It's very frustrating, honestly. Like you said, 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks in the span of 25 years, and only 2 rings to show for it. Like it's frustrating, and like people who are like, "Oh, be happy, appreciate it." A lot of teams haven't even won
Yeah,
in like that span. But like
yeah,
regardless, like it's talent. It's generational talent, bro. Like
yeah.
Rodgers is one of the best to ever do it. One of the most clinical quarterbacks that I've seen play. And even now, in 37 years old, he was MVP. I mean, he's MVP.
He's the MVP. Yeah, he's gonna be an MVP.
It's very frustrating, and it's like, I guess. Sorry, I guess I'm not being not grateful.
Right,
Just that a lot more was expected, especially this year.
right. I feel like the Packers never really push all their chips into the table. Like they're just kind of happy to have an elite quarterback, a really good offense, and being in the conversation most of the years.
Mm-hmm.
Like one example that I have is the Rams, how they went in all in. It didn't work out. A lot of it has to do with Goff not being the quarterback that you would hope he would be. But you could see the organization putting like a push just to be like, you know what, these next 2-3 years, we're gonna go for it. And if we don't come with it, then we don't come with it. But I feel like making that push with an elite quarterback I feel like that should be easier to do.
Yeah.
Like, cause you no matter what, you're gonna have your quarterback like still there after, even if you push all your chips in the center. And I just never see the Packers really do that. You never see them. You know what? They bought a big free agent and they traded for elite talent, or like you never hear them trading for Ramsey or even like a smaller, like a top 10 player at their position. You never really see that. So it just goes to show that football is the most ultimate team sport, like how people like to say it. I do believe that. I do believe you need 53-man roster, like one of the largest rosters in all of sports.
Mm-hmm.
So it's tough to win without a complete roster.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it's really well said, bro. I mean, what else can you say about it? I like what you said about them not putting their chips in. I mean, look at the Rams. I guess, yeah, they put all their chips in. I mean, look at the defense, solid defense.
right.
Yes, Goff can't really perform without play action. Even then, like even the Rams last year, they didn't even have a first round pick, and they still got some great picks.
Yeah,
from the second round and above. I mean, if they're really looking to find talent, they'll find talent. And now that the Rams, I guess for them is just finding a better QB that's not Goff,
Right. All right, so I don't want to keep hurting you with these Packers conversations. I'm pretty sure Rodgers should be back next year, hopefully, and then Packers should be one of the favorites going into next year to make it represent the NFC. And the division doesn't look too hard moving forward. Like Cousins, the Vikings, we'll see how they do. Looks like Stafford is on his way out. Bears don't have a quarterback, so I'm pretty sure you guys are going to be in the conversation next year to winning the NFC North, representing the NFC. You guys should be back there. So glass half full. Hopefully next year you guys make it happen.
Hopefully, man.
Ed, let's transition over to the next game from the conference finals or conference championships. Did you watch the Bills versus the Chiefs game? What were your thoughts on the game? Just amazing performance by the Chiefs.
I watched a bit of it, some highlights and some parts of the second half. But I mean, the Chiefs are gonna chief, man. Like Andy Reid is a genius,
right?
Although I feel like the Bills I feel like that performance from the Chiefs reminded me a lot of their playoff games from last year.
Right.
They kind of started off shaky, and then they literally were down. I mean, you missed the extra point, but they would have been down 10.
Yeah.
Made a comeback,
But like versus the Titans, I believe they were down 10. Yeah.
And they just execute on every side of the ball, special teams, defense,
right?
Obviously offense. Although it was a very surprising performance from the Bills late, like the late push they made.
Yeah.
You're not gonna win by scoring field goals, especially against that offense.
Oh.
I mean, Josh Allen really surprised me, man. I mean, he started off shaky. I do remember, like he started off good, and then went into like a two or three game slump, and then after that, you're just trending up, and then the Bills just started playing really good.
Right.
I mean, and I could honestly see them being a really, I mean, not the Pats. The Pats obviously won't be a problem in that division.
Right.
And maybe the Jets, the Dolphins are definitely gonna,
Yeah.
I mean, still be there. I mean, although the QB situation is a little bit shaky, but I see the Bills being in the playoffs again next year. Definitely. They just gotta add the pieces, like small pieces. Maybe some veterans.
Yeah.
I feel like
The defense.
there wasn't a lot of playoff experience on that team. Which you get obviously if your first playoff appearance since like '99. So I mean.
Yeah, well, they made it last year, but this was like their first playoff win.
My bad.
Yeah.
Playoff win. That's what I meant.
Yeah. So now you get the feeling you're feeling good about yourself moving forward. You could take the next step. But Mahomes and Tyreek Hill and Kelsey, that's nasty, man. That offense with Bieniemy and Andy Reid coaching up those plays. I think that's that's what the Packers needed to do too. They were doing end arounds. We kind of talked about how the offense had improved, and then they didn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
The Chiefs, they're true to themselves no matter what the score of the game is. They're always going to run end arounds, sweeps, motions. What they call the eye candy, where they're just moving everybody. That offense, I've never seen anything as fluid, as fun to watch. As a neutral fan myself, I like watching Chiefs games just because they're super fun to watch. Like, you're always going to be entertained.
Yeah, man. They're so quick. It's just like all you have to do is just like be fast.
And understand the playbook.
You want a 4.2, 4.3, 40? All right, they're gonna draft you.
Right.
Speed everywhere.
So who do you? My bad. Who do you have winning the Super Bowl? We have Brady, age 43, 10th Super Bowl appearance. We have Mahomes, I believe, age 25, second Super Bowl. How do you think this is gonna play out? Buccaneers or Chiefs in 2 weeks?
I think the Chiefs.
Chiefs?
Yeah, back to back. I just don't see if our defense held Brady to that horrible performance in the second half with our defensive coordinator. I just don't see Brady doing much.
Well, how would you think that the Buccaneers could make it a game or steal this game?
High pressure rate,
turnovers,
high pressure in the pocket. That's it. Just keeping Mahomes in the pocket is pretty much the only way I can see them winning it. The Chiefs did lose one of their tackles, though. I think Fisher.
Oh, I think he plays guard now.
Oh yeah, I think he
Achilles. Yeah, sucks for him. So maybe pressure, and Dominican Sue up the middle, JPP.
Vita Vea.
Yeah. So you have Chiefs by how much? You think it's gonna be a close game? You think it's gonna be a blowout?
Let's go Chiefs by 2 scores.
Chiefs by 2 scores. Okay. Damn. All right. I kind of said Chiefs by 10, so that's like 2 scores.
11.
What would you say about Brady if he wins another ring? Does this do anything for his legacy? Is it already like set in stone, or does it just confirm that he's the driving force behind the Patriots?
Yeah, I think it's set in stone, regardless of the outcome. People will always think of him as like the greatest, I guess, quarterback to ever do it.
Right.
He's got 6 rings. He's been 10 Super Bowls, 14 conference games.
Crazy stuff.
Although there was like 10 years
where he didn't win anything.
When he didn't win anything.
He still made it to the Super Bowl.
He still made it, yeah.
Yeah.
He still made it, got there. He's done it so much, especially late in his career.
Crazy.
It is. It's obviously it's crazy to even think about, like at that age, to do the things he's doing. He was airing the ball out. It wasn't that accurate, but he was airing it out.
Yeah.
Regardless. And I just feel like that a lot has to do with the team.
Yeah.
Like the general manager, the coaches, and how they built the team around the QB, which is, how you manage a team, how you manage a football team, build a team around your quarterback, get him the necessary weapons to succeed, the necessary protection, and then just worry about the defense.
Right.
which he's had a
Top 10 defense everywhere he's been.
Everywhere he's been.
Yeah. I think that's why he chose Tampa too. He saw the promise. They were 7-9 last year, but what's his name? He was turning the ball over a lot. Winston. Yeah, he had like 30. He was responsible for like 35 or 33 turnovers.
30 touchdowns, 30 picks. Or like the first player to ever have that stat. At least 30 of each, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, so there was potential on that 7-9 team, and now you see with Brady there, they unlocked it. And they had some additions too. People follow Brady, so he had like Antonio Brown, and he had some other signings too. Fournette, that's true. Yeah, Fournette. And he was big in the playoffs. But let's transition over to soccer in the Premier League. Mikel Arteta, he's still a coach. People thought he was going to be one of the first ones out. Now I believe there's been like 2 head coaches fired, the West Brom head coach, and now Chelsea's head coach, Frank Lampard. What do you got to say about Frank Lampard getting fired? Did you see this coming? I think a lot of people saw it coming.
Yeah, a lot of people saw it coming. I mean, I just feel like he just wasn't putting the players in the right positions.
Right.
To succeed. Like I mentioned before in that same group chat, buddy of mine is this like Chelsea fan, and he's like, Werner's playing on the left, like on the left wing. Like, and he's a natural striker. He's not playing Pulisic. He just wasn't putting the players in positions for them to succeed.
Right.
And I feel like their defense was still bad. I mean, you don't improve a defense by adding a 35-year-old center back.
Right.
Well,
I thought he was gonna help him out, like just because I didn't believe in the other guys like Christensen, Zuma, Rudiger, or was
Rudiger,
yeah, they're all bums. For lack of better words, I didn't think too highly of them. So I thought Silva was at least gonna bring some leadership. I know he's old, but that's how highly I thought of everybody else. But I think Mendy helped a little bit at the keeper position. We see what Kepa does. Kepa, he got a little playing time in the FA Cup. He did another mistake. So that's probably the best move he did, just getting rid of Kepa or benching him. But other than that, I didn't really see a strategy. Like I never really understood what Chelsea played. Like I didn't understand like their style.
Exactly. And a lot of that, obviously you can see during the games. Like what are they playing? Like,
it looks like he's just trying to out-talent the other team. But
they just have no identity.
Here's our talent. They're better than yours. Go do something.
Which in a way makes sense because of how many new players they brought in.
Yeah.
And they just plug them in, you know? But I mean,
go run.
Exactly.
But you need like, what's the point of the coach then? Like me and you could just tell him to do that and for a lot cheaper.
Yep. I mean, it didn't work out.
I did think he got hired too early. Like he wasn't ready to be the coach of Chelsea. That was like a name signing. Like he's Lampard, club legend.
Yeah.
What do you think of the new coach that's coming in? The ex-PSG coach?
Tuchel?
Yeah.
I mean, he looks good. He looks promising. He looks like he may be the answer. I mean, we'll see.
I mean, I'm pretty sure he'll have more strategies and more. He'll know how to coach him up better. Lampard was a rookie, man. That's
the thing.
He was like,
you never know. It's a toss-up.
Yeah. So what do you, moving on to Arsenal, how do you see them finishing out I think they just won today. They beat Southampton 3-1. I think they moved up to 8th position in the Premier League after people were saying they're going to be in a relegation battle. Now they're top 10. They're like, I believe 3 or 4 points away from top 4 now with the games. Other teams still have game in hands, but 3 or 4 points away from top 4. Do you think there's a possibility? Do you think that's possible? Or how do you see this season playing out for Arsenal?
Now that they're not in the FA Cup, they could dedicate more time to the other 2 competitions, the League and the Europa. I'd focus on the Europa. I wouldn't mind them finishing either like 7th, 8th in the League if they win the Europa. I just want Champions League football next year.
Right.
I feel like that'll attract a lot of people, a lot of players. We did sign Odegaard on loan.
From Real Madrid. Yep.
He's an attacking midfielder, so hopefully, I mean, he's young, he's super talented. So hopefully, I mean, that plays out.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't lost. I mean, I don't want to jinx it, but I mean, they haven't lost since beating Chelsea.
Right.
which was like Boxing Day.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're on a little streak. I mean, they did lose. I just lied. They lost last. They lost on Saturday. They haven't lost in the league.
Yeah, they haven't lost in the league. Yeah.
Chelsea. We do get Man U Saturday, so that'll be a good one. I guess that'll be like a true test if we're actually
On the way up.
on the way up.
Yeah.
We already beat them once.
1-0, right? 1-0. Yeah. So United's on fire right now.
I mean, it's always a difficult game when you're playing against a 12-man team.
That is, I mean, they do get a lot of help from the referee. You guys are probably gonna get a penalty called against you guys this weekend, if we're being honest.
The irony of that was that I was scared of that happening last year against Man U, and then we won a penalty, and we won because we scored a pen. So
you're like, we'll take it.
We'll take it.
So where do you think Arsenal's gonna finish in the Premier League? Right now they're 8th. We're like at the halfway point, kind of. A little bit over.
Best, I would say. I mean, obviously, I would hope for a top 5 finish.
Right.
But
objectively,
I say top 7.
Top 7.
Yeah. Especially we didn't really bring in anyone new that's gonna make a difference this winter transfer window. So I see them 7th, 8th.
Which is, considering how you guys started, it's not like terrible. It's not bad. It's not. People thought you guys were gonna be fighting for relegation, which was always kind of crazy. That's not really gonna happen. Come on, it's Arsenal.
Exactly. Come on, man.
If it was that bad, bro, they would have put a lot of money into this winter transfer and dying yourself out. Like, there's no way a big team like that. But have you seen some improvement from Arteta? You think he's the guy? Or
I think so. I mean, at first it looked shaky. Some of the moves he made, the team didn't look like they were playing with much enthusiasm.
Right.
And now they're just playing beautiful football, man. And it's really nice to watch the young stars shine.
Who's your favorite player at Arsenal?
Right now, man, this season specifically, Saka, bro.
Yeah.
Bakayo Saka, you can't even. He's just so good.
He's agile. He finds little pockets to run through. He's nice.
Flies around the pitch.
How old is he? 19? 18?
I think he's 19, bro.
19, yeah. Super young.
Young talent. A close second is Tierney.
Okay. You're right back, right?
He's the left back.
Left back.
Scottish.
Yeah. What about Aubameyang?
Oh, of course, man.
He's still struggling, no? He's
been struggling. He didn't play today.
Yeah.
I don't think they mentioned why. I think it's some personal stuff. I'm not sure. But yeah, I mean, he's been shaky. But
he's still Aubameyang. Yeah. If you guys are gonna do anything in Europa, he's probably gonna have to
show up.
Yeah, show up. So let's just end this with the Liverpool, man. People were calling them the best team ever, the best Premier League team ever last year, halfway through the season. Better than one of your club's teams, the Invincibles. I always thought it was kind of crazy to put them in that conversation because they were having a really good season. Now they just got eliminated out of the FA Cup by United. They're not even top 4 in the Premier League anymore. They're struggling. They can't score goals. What are your thoughts on Liverpool?
I'm glad you mentioned the Invincibles because I remember that Watford won last year. And I was so excited. I was like, ooh. I'm like, so glad they lost, bro. I was looking at the rest of the schedule and they had it pretty easy, man.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, thank God. Ooh, another year.
Ever since that Watford, they haven't been the same. That was like the tipping point.
They really haven't. I mean, they got bounced out of the Champions. They got plagued with injuries. I mean, you can't mention like them not doing good and related to the injuries.
Yeah.
Van Dijk, Delastro Gomez. I mean, they're playing their center middles as center backs. Henderson, Fabinho. I mean, but regardless, a big club like that, there has to be, especially after the season they had, and obviously it's not like the Van Dijk injury came out of nowhere. The Van Dijk injury came like the 3rd or 4th week into the season. Right?
And they fixed it. They were top of the table. It looked like they were going to start breaking away from everybody once they beat Tottenham.
Yeah. it's just I don't know. I'm honestly don't know what went wrong. There's like
It kind of feels like the league figured them out
yeah.
as a whole, like together, all at once, kind of. Just
I just felt they played last year. They just looked so fast. They were just playing so fast, and I feel like they countered a lot. I feel like a lot of their goals came like out of fast break counter.
yeah. And now everyone's just sitting back and like they're like, all right, let's see if you could break us down. And they're not. They're really struggling to score goals right now.
They just can't do it.
Which is crazy, which gives importance to those clubs that are able to keep like their success for like a lot of years. Like it's hard to keep it going like for multiple years. Teams and coaches will figure you out.
It is, and now like I feel like now it's up to Klopp to change it up.
Like bringing it back to the Invincibles. Was that the last season that you guys won it, or did you guys win it again after that?
I think that was the last time.
That was the last one. So there you go. Like the highs of being the Invincibles, thinking like, oh, our window is wide open. You know, like we're gonna be at the top of the summit for a while. Yeah. And now we're what 17, 18 years removed from that Invincible season, and you guys have never won it again. Not to take a shot at Arsenal, but
no, I mean, at least we won some silverware.
Yeah, along the way. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That Liverpool, like, was that we might look at this a year or two from now and be like, damn, that was it. That was their time in the sun, and we didn't even know it was gonna last that little. But they still have other players, so they might be able to turn it around.
They're like, oh, they're gonna win the treble, and then just
nothing.
Buy champions, buy FA, and then just the league.
Just the league, and then that's how it turned, dude. If you remember, if you were there last year, if you were paying attention, it was best team ever. We're gonna get the treble. We're gonna be repeat champions of Champions League. We're gonna win the league by record margin. We're gonna score the most points ever and undefeated season, and we're gonna win the FA Cup. And then they got bounced out of the FA Cup. They got bounced out of Champions League, and then they struggled at the end, so they didn't even beat the points record set by Manchester City. And I was like, okay, like low-key COVID, like but now it's just crazy to me. I'm still like, I still can't fathom how they're not like breaking records, or it's crazy to me how they to Burnley man, it's astonishing.
The amount of talent that's still there,
it's
really surprising that they're not performing.
Yeah, but Klopp has security, right? He can stay there as long as you want. Like, what do you?
I feel like he does. I mean, he won them the league after what? Was it like 30 years?
30 years.
I mean, obviously he has the fans on his back. I don't really see him getting fired or getting sacked anytime soon. I feel like they're gonna turn it around. He's a really good coach. I mean,
he is. I really like Klopp. I feel like he's kind of losing it right now a little bit. He's been kind of aggressive towards other coaches, towards the refs. And that soundbite that Mourinho had after their game when he was like, if I would do the things that other coaches do, I would not be here. Like I would be sent off. I think it's kind of true. Now that I think about it, some coaches get treated like differently.
Exactly. Even Pep's allowed to do all his antics.
Oh. Pep goes crazy too.
Around, scream.
Go up to the fourth judge and the fourth ref and just like get on him. Yeah, it's crazy. But who do you have winning the league? Just to get your thoughts. This league, it's a crazy season, man. Like I feel like everyone has their time at the top. Is it gonna be United? Leicester have a chance to win it. Maybe Mourinho. Liverpool comes back. City, Pep. What are your thoughts? I mean, who cares? Arsenal's not gonna win it, but who do you have? Who do you see coming out the top at the end?
My heart's like, I want Leicester to win it.
Yeah,
because like no one in the top 6 besides us, right?
Yeah,
Leicester. But realistically, I mean, both matches the teams are playing really good.
Right.
I watched the City game today. I mean, yeah, it was West Brom, but bro, they're looking good, man. They're looking back in form. Mars is playing good. Gundogan is playing out of his mind.
Oh, he's scoring goals like he's the best number 9 in the league.
He might be the player of the month for this month, bro.
Yeah.
The player of the month for the league is Gundogan. He's playing out of his mind. So I see.
And they have a solid defense now.
Yeah, exactly.
Stones and what was it, Garcia?
Yeah.
I forgot who the other one that played, but
Diaz.
Ruben Diaz. Yeah.
So I mean, I say City.
City.
Yeah. Although I want Leicester, but I think City seems
the most stable team right now, huh?
Most stable team. I forgot who they drew in the champions, but I don't even think it was that much.
Dude, they always I can look at it right now. City, but they always get easy draws in there, but they always choke. So who cares who they got? They got Mönchengladbach.
Oh, Mönchengladbach. Okay.
Yeah. So that should not be anything.
But then how much they put on Madrid?
Oh, I don't know, like 3, I think.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, man.
And they lost to Lyon last year, so I mean, anything can happen.
Anything, exactly, always, especially with COVID.
Oh, true. Oh, one last thing. Do you think the Premier League is gonna finish without interruption, or you think they're gonna have to cancel or suspend the season for a little bit? Because there's a lot of teams testing positive right now.
Yeah, there's been a lot of games postponed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was looking at the table and I was like, some teams have 20 games, others have like 17.
17, yeah. There's a big. How are they gonna make them up?
Yeah, especially with, I mean, obviously European football. There's like most of at least the top of the table teams are playing in 3 different competitions
the whole year.
So it's kind of like, where are you gonna fit this game?
And the Euros, you gotta play the Euros this year, or else it messes up the World Cup cycle.
I feel like if it would have had like the possibility of it being canceled, it would have been a higher chance of it being canceled before the winter.
Yeah.
After. Because like we said, there's a lot of teams playing in 3 different competitions. As the year goes on, obviously the teams start getting bounced out of their respective competitions.
Oh, and you can find like windows
open within the week.
Right.
Okay.
So you think they're gonna just be able to power through? I
feel like they'll be able to power through, yeah.
Crazy stuff though. Crazy stuff. Never like.
Even in the NBA, bro.
Oh yeah.
So many games are getting postponed. I mean, obviously the bubble worked, but I mean it's hard to get the entire league in the bubble.
Yeah, and then right now, like COVID is worse than it was back then too, because like the winter and stuff. But
maybe a playoff bubble.
Yeah, I think they should do that because, like I said, the NBA, like you mentioned, the NBA is kind of struggling right now. It seems like every day there's some teams game for like not even today, like 2 games ahead, and the one 4 days ahead canceled. But it's just the times we live in, right?
Exactly.
It's crazy stuff.
The people wanted live sports.
We got them now.
They knew the risks that came with it. Respect to the athletes that are doing it, man, because it's tough.
Yeah, no, the coaches too. They're saying that, like, I'm a Wolves fan, and they were saying how Nuno, the coach, all his family's in Portugal, and he hasn't been able to visit them for like 6 months because of the COVID restrictions from country to country. And if you go, you won't be able to coach. Just all the sacrifices that all these professional athletes across the league are making is just ridiculous.
Exactly, man. Exactly. Staff, everything.
Everything, man.
Even the people working like the media, bro. Like, I mean, they still gotta show up to do some, some reporting, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff is virtual, but you do see a lot of them like in the games, reporting.
The people, the cameraman was taking pictures. Yeah. Amazing stuff.
It gets me a little bit upset when like people complain like, oh, this athlete's holding out the season because of COVID. Like, bro, like, yeah, like I would have loved to seen them play, but I mean, like,
especially if they have like little kids at home, like, dude, how are you gonna? Dude, yeah, first and foremost, you take care of your family, and then you figure out the rest.
Exactly.
Almost all of them, if they're set, the ring doesn't matter if your family's like hurting. Mm-hmm. So I saw it that way when like Bradley came out of the Lakers for the bubble. I was like, man, I would love to have you, but you got to do what you got to do.
Exactly. Human first, and then then a professional basketball.
Yeah, but that should do it for this episode of the Hard to Handle Sports Podcast. I just want to thank you, Arturo, for coming on again and being a guest on the show. Any final thoughts?
Thank you, man. No, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. It's always fun to talk sports, regardless of of the topics. Yeah, it sucked to get bounced out of the playoffs again. Back to years NFC Championship, 4 straight losses in the NFC Championship game. I don't even want to mention 2014 because
against the Giants.
No, 2014 was the Seahawks, bro.
Oh no, the last onside.
And then after that, it was after smoking the Cowboys.
Oh,
like crazy, that toe drag catch by Jared Cook.
Yeah,
game-winning field goal just to go get smacked by the Falcons. They dropped like 40 something on us,
and then they choke on the Super Bowl.
When they choke on the Super Bowl, man.
Heartbreak, man. It's part of being a sports fan, man. Yeah. I feel like everyone that's listening has some stories like this too.
Exactly. Like, honestly, I can't even be mad, bro. It's been such a bad year, obviously, for everyone.
Yeah.
And 2 out of let's see, 2 out of like my 5-6 teams that I go for won. The Lakers, the Dodgers, they won.
Yeah. And I would have been greedy, bro. You were so greedy, bro. You had the trifecta, bro. Relax.
Bro, I had my drafts ready, bro. That's why I counted, what's it called? I counted my chickens counted my eggs before they hatched.
Yeah.
Bro, I had my drafts ready. I was like Packers, Dodgers, Lakers, and I was like that LeBron picture, like this is my life. I had them ready, man. I was like,
anything is possible.
I don't care if it's Mahomes, Tyreek, Kelsey. I don't give a fuck. Wow. Yeah, they'll drop 50. We'll drop 60 on them.
Best thrower of the football ever.
Let Mahomes do what. I don't give a heck. The State Farm Bowl. I don't care, bro. Like,
he has better commercials.
It's the Rogers rate, not the Patrick Price.
Yeah, pero ni modos.
Yeah, man. Like you said, it's the life of a sports fan, bro. Like, regardless, like, you're gonna have your ups, you're gonna have your downs. I mean, regardless of what happens, I'm not gonna stop supporting Green Bay just because,
Even though you did tweet that you're done with this team.
Even though I did tweet it. That was in the moment. I like to redact it. Nah. Yeah, it's frustrating, it's upsetting, all that. I mean, I say all these things, and then there's people that support other teams that haven't even won a championship, that haven't even seen them win a championship. At least I had the pleasure.
I'm from San Diego, bro. The Padres have never won it. Ex-Charger fan.
I don't want to say any names, bro, but if the shoe fits.
Just say it's me, bro.
Yeah, man. I mean, at least I was able to witness, Rodgers lift the Lombardi.
Yeah. So stop being greedy. Let's just end it there. Stop being greedy, Arturo. Hey, well, thank you for coming on. I'm sure you'll be here again sometime down the line. Thank you for being a guest on the show again.
Anytime, bro. Thank you for having me. Looking forward to being a guest, hopefully, sometime in the future.
Yeah. Hopefully a better time after someone wins the championship, huh?
After the Lakers get back to back.
There you go. I like that. Go Lakers.
Yes, sir.
Later.